It was a dope ass fight, I thought it was a good fight. I thought it's another one of my masterpieces, I try to really show like that I can outclass these guys. Like some of these guys don't even belong in there with me. And that's really what it is at the end of the day. And that's all I can be thankful for. Like I was kind of bothered by some things Tony said, but at the end of the day, I'm really happy with my performance.
Before or after the fight with what Tony said?
Before, after what?
Uh, Things that Tony said after the fight. I know we talked
Yeah,
about
yeah,
the
exactly.
eyeball.
After the
Okay,
fight. After the
right.
fight.
What do you say to that? What is the response to these eye poke allegations?
Yeah, I've got almost, but that's like my 46, 47th fight. Um, Things are gonna happen. Okay. If you had that many fights, some things are gonna happen. Okay. So say this happened out. How many times do you think that would happen at IPO, which happens so often, or at least every card?
Yeah,
How often would you say that would happen out of 47 times?
a lot.
And so for me, I would say I can think of three at the most, you know, three at the most. And
Hmm.
so when people make that allegation, I'm like, three eye pokes at the most out of 47 fights.
That's much less than I would have thought.
Exactly. When you look at the numbers. But
Yeah.
that's my point. And so my point is I would never be a dirty fighter. I don't get down like that. I've had all these kind of different things that people have seen, but you have to understand this guy's fought in everybody. Like that's how it goes. Usually, if you're the guy who's usually doing the most amount of work, you're gonna have the most amount of exposure, the most amount of problems, the most amount of things that could go wrong. Usually go wrong.
How disappointing is that to you? You guys, you put it all out on the line, 14 minutes and 50 seconds of fighting. Then to hear that stuff afterwards, does that sort of hurt you in a way that he
Um,
would
it
not say,
bothers me.
"Hey,
It
just
bothers
tell us
me.
to fight and you beat me."
It bothers me in the fact that like people think that like he's lost his talent because I beat him now, and because he's been on 5 win streak. But he's lost to all the world best. So when he lost to the world's best, it's like okay, he lost to them. But now that he lost to me, it's like you couldn't be the world's best.
Do you feel like you're still being disrespected by people?
Um, I don't know if that's it matters. And that's important. Paying attention too much to people. That's I don't know about doing all that. That's kind of weird.
Yeah.
I try to like look a little bit into it and see what the reviews are on the fight, so I can be better next fight.
Right.
But then at the same time, I don't pay too much attention to what people say.
And tell me if I'm wrong here, though, King. But at the same time, isn't it? If the fans are behind you and hyping you up, obviously you're more likely to get these big fights going forward, right? I mean,
Yes,
I
sir.
wanted to ask you about being ranked. Do you feel like you should crack the top 15 now? Where do you go from here? I mean, I know this is a great notch on your belt, but I know too that you want to be champion.
See. The champion thing, like, I've never really had an interest in that, brother. I never had an interest in a belt or a
Doesn't
title
matter to
when it
you.
comes to UFC. I truly believe the champions are kind of like, not say chosen, but more so kind of narrated. Like you can have a story. And I never wanted to be that guy that I felt like it was a story. For me, I built it my own way, like built my own star power without the UFC kind of like pushing me as the engine. I had to go and do a lot more work to build this.
After having been in there for nearly 15 minutes with Tony, you've had people now before your fight, you've had people for some time now saying, "Hey, he doesn't have any more. He should retire." You just spent 15 minutes in there with him. You're one of the best fighters in the world. What do you say?
Um, I would say he should retire in terms of like if he fights guys like me, who are really fast, and I don't know if he has the motor skills to get some get away out of some of these punches. And so you start losing your motor skills, and so that one part side of me says that, but the other side of me says every fighter I would never want a fighter to quit. But at the same time, it's like I want to see you watch your health, but at the same time, I don't want to see you have to quit. I don't plan on quitting until I want to quit.
And you're still loving this, obviously.
Loving it. I don't know about that. It's a love hate thing. This is your job, and the more you do your job, the more you get paid. And so, I'm just doing my job and trying to do it well.
Was Saturday a big step forward in you getting those even bigger paydays?
I hope so. We'll find out my next fight. We'll figure out what happens. You know, when I start getting paid, we'll figure it all out. But I don't know. Right now, I just got to keep worrying about the money I make. I'm blessed with the money I got paid. I'm happy, and to keep that going is good enough for me. But bigger dollars, everybody wants money like that. I don't know, bro. I don't think about money so much like that. As long as I can do what I need.
When would you like to fight again? And is there anybody that you have in mind or anyone that interests you?
I'm looking at September. You know, I'm looking at September. Whoever wants to fight in September, whoever's down. You know, I'm not trying to do a fast turnaround. I'm not trying to sit around and wait. I would like to do that. September sounds good. I know there's a Vegas show. I know there's a Paris show. Um, who would I like to fight? Um, Most of the guys, like I'm trying to tell you right now, I got my own buzz. I don't need anybody else's like to make a buzz. I don't need a name like that. The names are awesome. Whoever I fight's gonna be a fucking show. So for me personally, I want to fight the guys who have been calling my name out. I want to fight the guys who said and think they can beat me. You know, if you said my name, you thought you have really good chance to beat me. So I'm gonna fight all the guys that said my name.
Kind of prove to them like they made a mistake in calling you out?
Yeah, yeah. I'd rather do personal vendettas than chase belts around and stuff. I'd rather get my actual like my real like mental battles down. It's like, hey, that guy called you. You gotta go get him, you know? And so I just feel like it's more G to do that than be trying to say, I want that title, I want the belt, I want the belt. And like some people who have let's look at it this way. Some people fight 3 fights and get to a belt.
Yeah.
Some people fight 8 fights and get to the belt. Some people will be on a 12 fight win streak and not get a belt. So that's a story writing there. That's what I mean by story writers. And I don't chase that. I don't worry about that. I worry about, hey, doing what can I get done and how can I impact people and those aspects. And so what I can get done is maybe get all these guys off my shit list that said my name.
It does seem like it's becoming more and more about cloud and how many followers you have, as opposed to who might be the best fighter. It does seem like it's been trending in that direction.
Yeah, and also I think the fans want to see they want to have a certain thing to see, you know. They pay their hard money and
Yeah.
it sucks that a lot of these guys don't want to put it out there for them and perform. They're just concerned about getting a W. And so guys like me, guys like Nate Diaz, we believe it's a fight. It's kill or be killed. It's we're going to the wire. It's getting something that the fans can get behind and jump up out of their seats and be timeless.